Hello, and welcome to this syllabus explanation video, which I hope is going to be the best syllabus explanation video that you watch all day. I don't know how many you're watching, but hopefully this is the best one. Welcome to Civil Rights in America, History 240. This class is fully online, and this syllabus explanation is the beginning of getting started with the course. So make sure you watch this video all the way to the end. If you try to find a shortcut for this very first thing you're supposed to do, it's a bad sign. So just stick with it. We'll get through it as quickly as we can. As we get started, grab a pen or pencil and a piece of paper. Because as we go through this video, I'm going to ask you some questions related to what's in the video, and you'll need to handwrite your answers, and then we'll talk about what to do with that when we get to the end. The course CRN, listed up here at the top. This course is entirely online except the midterm and the final, as you saw when you were registering. The course has a pretty strong policy against AI. From the perspective of learning history, using AI to complete your discussion posts or any part of your work really actually impairs your learning and doesn't assist it in any way. So if you signed up for the course thinking it's an online course, I can just plug everything into chat, you should drop the class. Just first day right here watching the video, just okay, I'll get out. If you stick with it, you're going to learn history in a remote online format. And if it works well, you might even enjoy it. Okay, so make sure you don't use AI. If you do, you'll fail the class. And I reserve the right to turn every student over to academic affairs, who can put it on your transcript and even have you removed from the college. One last little note about this. I think as a student this would be a very difficult time if I were the student, because professors just set their own policies on AI, and so you may have a different course with a different policy, and it's just the burden on the student now to make sure they understand the policy for each course. So hopefully you've got it for this one. My office phone is listed here. That is not the best way to contact me. My email right here is the best way to contact me. I'll check my email regularly through the semester. I'll try to get back to you as quickly as I can. My office is located in the Humanities building on the Rockville campus, and I have office time there at the days and times listed. Those are physical office hours, so I'm sitting in my office waiting to help someone. However, if you want to meet on Zoom during any of these times, just send me an email, we'll set up an appointment, and we can jump on for a little Zoom meeting, answer whatever questions or concerns you have. Course objectives, listed here. See the things marked with the bullet points? Those are the things that you're supposed to be able to do by the time we finish the class. The Gen Ed statement. The course fulfills the Humanities distribution requirement and the Global and Cultural Perspectives requirement. That is a twofer. Here on page 2. Are you noticing how quickly we got to page 2? It's pretty impressive. On page 2 are the assigned materials for the course. There is no textbook. It's the first thing to wrap your understanding around. There is no textbook for the course because, well, there is no textbook. What I mean is the textbook has not been written for what we're going to cover in this course. I guess I would have to write it, and I don't have time. So instead, you're gonna watch a series of lectures about civil rights in American history, and those lectures will serve as the overarching narrative of the history. And then to go deeper on some aspects of civil rights history in America, you're going to read a book and watch a movie. There's one little exception, which I'll talk about a few times here, where you may read two books. But for the most part, you're going to read a book and watch a film, as you see right up here. You're going to choose one of the books listed here. There are 8 options listed. The first one is a pairing of 2 short books. This is sometimes very tricky for people to get to stick in their noodles. So if you make this selection, if you select number 1, you're selecting 2 short books. One, Negroes with Guns. The second is March, Book 1. If you make any of the other selections, you're just reading one book. Just that book that you picked. Okay, so you're going to select a book, and we'll talk more about how to do that. And you're going to select one of these documentaries. And these will be your picks. So one of the first things you'll need to do is research what each of the options are about. Absolutely do not make a pick based on the title. That's like judging a book by its cover. Instead, your first task, and there will be part of the grade associated with this, is to actually learn what each of the options are about. And then make your pick. Same for the movies. Learn what each of them is about, and then make your pick. Okay, we'll talk more about what you're going to do with the book that you read and the movie that you watch as we work our way through the syllabus here. But first, remember that piece of paper that you got handy? And that pen or pencil that you've been holding in your hand, twirling it around? Well, here's your first question. And jot down the answer on that piece of paper. What's the course policy on AI? And after you write that down, include an acknowledgement that you understand the consequences for using AI in the class. All right, that'll be number 1. Okay, next, we're on to the grade. The grade, often important to students. Your grade for the class is out of 1,000 points. Right now, as you watch this video, you have 0. 0 points. That is an uphill climb. You need 900 points to get to an A. That's 900 out of 1,000. 800 points will get you a B, 700 points a C, and hopefully everyone makes it to 700 points, because below there is the D and the F. So then, in this section are the various components of that 1,000 points. I don't know how often I actually can get students to do it, but I think the best way to think of your grade is not the way you're going to see it on Blackboard, which gives you an average as we go along, but instead to always think, how many more opportunities do I have to get points? Can I still get enough points to get to 700 for the class? Or, if you're trying to get an A, to get to 900, etc. Okay, so the first big chunk of the grade is your notes. As I mentioned earlier, you're going to watch a series of lecture videos posted on YouTube, links in Blackboard, and your job is going to be to watch the lecture and take notes. You have to handwrite your notes. And we'll talk about how to do that. You're going to essentially handwrite your notes and then take pictures or scan them if that's possible for you, and send me a Word or PDF document that has your handwritten notes. Why handwritten? All studies indicate that understanding works differently when someone handwrites as opposed to types. Typing often becomes a sea of words. Handwriting forces a whole different kind of mental process. Okay, so you're going to watch these video lectures, take notes, send me your notes. There are 10 lectures that we'll cover in the class, and the 10 lectures are on 10 different topics and eras, and they're of different lengths. So I've split the lecture material into 24 notes submissions of like roughly the same length. In general, when you have to watch a set of videos, they'll be about 80 minutes is what they average out to. It's actually, they average out to 78 minutes. Some are a little longer, some a little shorter, but that's the average. So you'll send me your notes. And this is a completion grade. It's not like I'm going to grade your notes for the quality of your notes. All I'm really looking for is a clear demonstration that you watched the videos and that you've got down the material. We'll talk a little bit more about what good notes look like when you start the first video from the first lecture. But when you send me your notes, I may give you some feedback, like, I think that you would want a little more detail here so you're well prepared for the tests. But as long as your notes indicate that you made it through all the video material, they'll count as complete. And that means if you just do it, you'll get 100% for this part of your grade. Just do it, turn them in on time, 200 out of 200 points. Boom. Next part of your grade. We'll meet on Zoom 4 times. Me and you. Chit-chat. Okay, not just chit-chat. Each time we meet for a Zoom meeting, you'll have specific tasks that you need to have done to be prepared for the meeting. Most of the meeting time will be devoted to us discussing what you're reading and later in the semester, the film that you watch. So you're not going to do any formal writing about the book that you're reading. We're going to talk about it. And that will form the bulk of the Zoom meeting grade. Details for each Zoom meeting will be posted on Blackboard, and you'll have plenty of time to email me with questions before the Zoom meeting so as to make sure that you're prepared and get a good grade. Here, no, let's keep going. I was going to give you question number 2, but let's keep going for a little bit, right? Let's do it. Okay, there will be a midterm and a final. As you saw when you signed up for the course is online except for the midterm and the final, which will take place on the Rockville campus. The dates will be posted on Blackboard. Some of them are listed in the course schedule later here in the syllabus. And if you can't make it to the test meeting time, there are actually multiple meeting times that you could attend. If you can't make it, then you can also take the test at any of the 3 campus assessment centers. So if you live closer to Tacoma Park or Germantown, you can just go in there and take the midterm there. If you are out of town or something at the time of the midterm and final, make sure that you coordinate with me with plenty of advance time, and we will work out a solution to make sure that it works. I've come up with some creative things when we've had to. There'll be 2 little map quizzes. The map quizzes are kind of like a geography game that you'll take online, and you don't have to turn your score in until you're happy with your score. So if you just keep playing the game until you get a perfect score, you can get a perfect score. We'll have 5 little quizzes called key term quizzes. They're brief, you'll take them on Blackboard, and they're pretty quick. If you prepare well, they should go pretty smoothly. Finally, discussion board participation. As I mentioned earlier, there are 10 recorded lectures, and there will be a discussion forum associated with each lecture. Now this is a little bit tricky, because remember that there are 10 lectures, but 24 notes submissions. Right? So we're just splitting the 10 lectures up into smaller chunks. There is not a discussion forum for each notes submission. There's a discussion forum for each of the 10 lectures. Okay, we'll talk a little more about this here in the course schedule. This is the most important part of the syllabus for you to print. Print pages 4 and 5. That's the course schedule. And then, wherever your workspace is at home, put these sheets of paper out. Tape them to your desk or put them on the wall so that you can see this calendar as we move through the semester. And before we get into the calendar, at this point, I'll ask you question number 2. Question number 2. What's the assigned reading for the course? Yeah, so pause the video if you need to, jot your answer down, and then let's continue. All right, so you're looking at the course schedule. Date listed each day, and when something is listed across multiple days, well, that means you have multiple days to do it. So here, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, you need to watch lecture assignment number 1 and schedule your first Zoom meeting. You're not going to complete that Zoom meeting during these days. You're just going to schedule it. You're going to complete it, like it says here, between the 18th and the 29th. Again, read the directions on Blackboard for what you have to have done when you come to do that Zoom meeting. It would be wonderful if there are a couple heroes who are ready to get it done on the 18th. That would mean that you've picked your book, picked your movie, and read the first 20 pages of your book. We'll talk more about those details later on. Okay, so then Thursday, notes number 1 is due. When something is due, I'll always just have it due by 11:59 p.m. that day. That way it gives you right up to the very last minute. So notes number 1 due Thursday night, and then watch lecture assignment number 2 over Friday, Saturday, and notes number 2 due Sunday night. And that'll be our general rhythm. Notes due on Thursdays and notes due on Sundays. So 4 days to get this one done, 3 days to get this one done, and that will be the kind of rhythm, the flow of the class. So then here's discussion number 1, which you see comes once the notes have brought you through the end of the first lecture. You're actually going to start discussion number 1 a little earlier, but discussion number 1, discussion number 2 here, key term quiz 1, and that's how you read the syllabus. So here, the last day for Zoom meeting number 1, here, map quiz number 1 due, and so on. Here's the midterm this week, and here are the on-campus options. Again, if you want to take it at an assessment center, you'll just let me know ahead of time. Any kind of extenuating circumstances, let me know with lots of lead time so we work out a solution that works. Notice there's only 1 notes submission the week of the midterm because you're busy with a big midterm. And so, yeah, print the course schedule, keep it handy and use it to refer to so you know what's due this week and what's coming up in the weeks ahead. Okay, question number 3. Explain the notes grade as well as you understand it. Explain the notes grade. What is it? How does it work? Here, in the last week, will be the final exam. The times and places will be posted on Blackboard. Same deal. If you need to take it at an assessment center, let me know. We can work that out. We're on page 6. We are moving so quickly. Everybody else watching syllabus videos is jealous of us. This is an accelerated course technically, but it's not that accelerated. We're doing the course in 13 weeks instead of 15, so it's slightly accelerated, I think. If this is your first online class, make sure you take advantage of these resources and understand how the courses work, what the expectations are, etc. Here's the Blackboard Help Desk information. This part is particularly important. About the discussion forums. Make sure you read through all of these guidelines. In particular, note this right here. Maybe go ahead and just put a star next to that on your syllabus. Highlight it so that when you get to the first discussion forum, that is there in your brain helping you out. But again, read through all the guidelines here before using the discussion board. I encourage you to just compose your discussion posts directly in the Blackboard, right there in the text box. There's a good spell check tool in there, but it won't generate text for you the way that so many other programs do. It'll let you produce the words yourself, and that will help you appear like the human that you are. Here's the rubric for discussion forums. Most forums will involve 2 posts, a original post, or OP, as you'll see the acronym, and a response post. Both posts should meet that minimum. And the forums will be graded taking this rubric into mind as your posts are scored. Question number 4. What are the Zoom meetings? Yeah, jot your answer down. Pause if you need to. Email, as I mentioned at the beginning, is the best way to get in touch with me. 2 email addresses, they both go to the same place as long as you spell my last name correctly and type them just as listed here. There is a professor at the college who has a last name that is spelled very similar to mine, and his name is also John. So please don't send him any emails. Make sure you spell my name correctly. Don't compose your emails with AI. Some people have this just integrated into their email generation. Type those words yourself for this class. Only email me from your MC email. If you email me from Gmail or some other account, it often goes to our junk mail, makes it hard to find. An email is a professional communication, so don't send me a text message in an email. The notes submissions, you're going to send from your MC email to my MC email. As I mentioned earlier, you're going to take pictures and put the pictures into a Word document. This is the most common way that students do it. Just take one picture per page and then paste those images into a Word document. So if you took 4 pages of notes, you just take 4 pictures, put those pictures into a Word document, and send me the Word document. There are other ways that work. If you have an idea that seems efficient on your end, just let me know. We'll see if it works on my end. PDFs are always fine. Some people have the ability to just scan their notes right on their printer, send them to me that way. That's fine. Figuring out the first note submission is often a little technically tricky for students. So I'll be flexible with you as you're getting the hang of it and working out a way that works for both of us. That is on the first one. What else do we have? College-wide policies and procedures, everybody's favorite. Make sure you read through them, particularly if any of them are directly applicable to you. And you won't believe it, but we've made it to the end of this here syllabus. 12 pages of pure excitement, and we did it. So I have one more question for you. How will students complete the midterm and the final? And that is the last question. Okay, so you should have 5 answers, right, to these questions that you wrote down on a piece of paper. And what we're going to do is a little practice run. So I want you to take a picture of that piece of paper where you wrote the answers, and then you're going to email me, but don't email me just the picture. Instead, paste the picture into a Word document and send me that Word document. Title it something like Syllabus Answers or something else creative. Surprise me. Does that make sense? Just nod at me if it makes sense. Nod at the computer. Okay, looks like you got it. All right, good. So 5 answers to the questions. Take a picture, paste the picture into a Word document, send me the Word document, and you're off and running. Your next task, after completing this syllabus video, is to also watch the welcome video posted in the Start Here module. That one will be shorter, but check it out. I'll walk you through the setup of our Blackboard class, and there's a task that you have to complete from that video as well. I look forward to meeting you. I hope you have a good semester, and well, I said and like I had something else to say, but I think that's it. I look forward to meeting you, and I hope you have a great semester.